of different governorship party primaries in Anambra State. Some victors congratulated, some banned, factions produce different names, contestants kick as appeal committees are constituted. We will attempt to untangle the cords and get to the meat of the matter. Defections continue in some parties as political platforms recalibrate for 2023. Also on Political Update today, youths urged to leverage on renewed impetus at the local government level to test their competence in leadership. It promises to be an eclectic package. I'm Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has approved the dissolution of the Zamfara State Executive of the party. The party says its structure in Zamfara remains intact.
The spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, Kola Ologbondiyan, at a media briefing in Abuja, says the decision to dissolve the Zamfara State Executive of the party is in line with the provision of Section 29, subsection 2B of the PDP Constitution 2017 as amended.
All party members, leaders, critical stakeholders, as well as our teaming members in Zamfara State should be guided by this accordingly.
The PDP spokesperson further says the party is watching developments in Zamfara State as they concern the reports of plans by the state governor, Bello Muhammad, to cross over from the party.
The circumstance in which each of the governors came into office differs, and as such, I do not consider what the party is doing or what the party position is on Zamfara as a delusion. If anything, it will be a subject of the legal jurisprudence of our nation.
He explains that there is no division in the PDP to warrant defection of any of its members.
Mr. Valentine Ozigbo emerged the winner of the PDP Anambra State governorship primary election held in Awka. He polled 62 votes to beat his closest rival, Obiora Nkonkwo, who scored 58 votes. We have details of this report and another filed by Joy Luegbu.
The People's Democratic Party PDP primary election, which was held at the Anambra State Women Development Center in Awka, had 218 superdelegates from the 21 local government areas of the state, including 11 out of the 16 aspirants of the party. Before the commencement of the exercise, 3 of the aspirants had stepped down for various reasons.
They are Atiaba Emeka Benson, SAN, stepped down. Dr. Tony Okechukwu also stepped down. Nzerebe Marcellinus Chukwu Meze also stepped down.
After accreditation of delegates and voting proper, Mr. Valentine Ozigbo emerged as winner with 62 votes to defeat his closest rival, Dr. Obiora Okonkwo, who polled 58 votes in the keenly contested election.
Hereby declare Mr. Ezwebo Valentine Chinato as the winner of the PDP Anambra gubernatorial primary election.
Given the transparency of the process, it will be easy for us to come together as one, and with that, you begin to see the power of PDP.
Meanwhile, another faction of the PDP, led by Chukwudi Umeaba, also elected Senator Ugochukwu as the party's flag bearer in a parallel primary, which had 5 out of the 16 aspirants in attendance.
Senator Andy Uba is emerged winner of the governorship primary election of the All Progressives Congress in Anambra State. Uba emerged winner in the election contested by 13 other aspirants.
48 votes.
The chairman of the APC Anambra State Primary Election Committee and Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, said Senator Uba polled 230,201 votes out of the total votes of 348,490 to defeat his closest rival, Ononwoku John Bosco, who polled 28,746 votes. Governor Abiodun said election took place in 20 out of the 21 local government areas in the state, noting that election could not hold in Onitsha South due to the failure of the returning officers to conduct the election after collecting election materials from the committee's secretariat. The governor further disclosed that an option A4 method was adopted in the election and blamed the delay in the conduct of the election as scheduled on the failure of the contestants to supply 30 of their representatives as directed by the committee. He said only 9 aspirants supplied their representatives to the committee as at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Governor Abiodun explained that despite the minor hiccups, returning officers backed by security escorts were posted to all the 326 wards in the state, declaring that the process was free, fair, transparent, and in line with the party's guidelines.
By the authority vested on me by the National Caretaker Committee of the All Progressive Congress, as the chairman of the Anambra State APC 2021 governorship primaries, I hereby declare Dr. Andy Uba the valid winner of this 2021 Anambra State APC governorship primaries.
The election committee chairman, however, debunked insinuations from some of the contestants that the exercise was deliberately delayed, pointing out that his committee only needed to be thorough and transparent. Meanwhile, the State Publicity Secretary of APC in Anambra State, Okelo Madukaife, in a statement wants the Governor Maimala Buni-led Caretaker Committee to conduct a fresh governorship primary in Anambra State on Tuesday, June 29, 2021, as the one scheduled for Saturday, 26 June 2021, allegedly did not hold. This, the statement said, is necessary as proposed by the leader of APC in Anambra State and Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige.
Now, Managing Director, National Inland Waterways Authority and APC governorship aspirant in the Anambra State governorship primary election, George Moghalu, on Monday said the election did not hold. George Moghalu was speaking to journalists. He joins us now in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Not too much stress from over the weekend.
No, not at all.
Some said it held. You are saying it did not hold. How would you, for instance, substantiate this, your claim?
I feel so embarrassed that somebody at the level of governor of a state, because there's a level somebody gets to in a society, you accord him some level of respect. For a governor of a state to come out in the daytime, in broad daytime, and talk absolute rubbish, tell lies.
According to you?
Yes, tell lies, verifiable lies. They would have produced one video clip. APC is a national party today. If nothing else, we are in control of the federal government of today. Let them produce one video clip by NTA or any other news channel of where election was going on in Anambra State. Rather, I will give you 1,000 video clips of people protesting in the 326 wards of the state that elections did not hold. How would elections hold? When materials were not distributed. Materials were not distributed. There was nobody. INEC officials were also in all these locations. Security agencies were in these locations. We mobilized supporters, members of our party, and they came out in the morning at 8 a.m. Some of them stayed till 5 p.m. There were no materials. How then did you throw up the votes? And then you sit back in probably in Imo State or somewhere and concoct results and come out in the middle of the night to start announcing results, allocating votes to aspirants, allocating votes, sitting down there allocating votes, depending on how the level of threat you consider an aspirant will pose to the process of your machination. You now allocate votes to them and come out with temerity and sit down and announce and say election was free and fair.
Is this your position or the other contestants?
The first press conference we addressed on the Saturday of the election, 11 of us were standing. Even the public secretary of the party came out in public to say elections did not hold. Even the chairman of our party, of the local government of the purported winner, came out to say elections did not hold in their local government. The leader of the party in the state, who also comes from the Anambra state, from our law, they have two words in our law, said elections did not hold in their community. He sent text messages, of which I have a copy, to the chairman of the committee at after 4 p.m. that nothing is happening here. And he talked to some of us, is anything happening in your area? And we said no. He now asked, that was when he now proposed that this thing should be suspended since it's a Saturday and moved to either Monday or Tuesday so that they can have ample time, if time was their challenge, so they can have ample time to do a proper election. What we're asking for is very simple. Give us a level playing field. Put the materials available. Let us go and let a number of people choose who they want to fly the flag of the party. Why are they scared?
All right, let's look at the options as it were. There is, I understand, there's a committee constituted in terms of appeal. There's another. You guys are saying you want to start to do the election all over again.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the leadership of the party, what has been the communication, as first from the state and then national?
No, the state, the public secretary of the party has reported what happened. The issue of party primaries is not a state job, because the committees are appointed at the national
level.
I have been privileged to serve in a political party at the highest level for the past 22 years, before Mr. President graciously appointed me to where I am now. I've been in party administration for the past 22 years, so I understand how it works. All right? Now, what do you expect us to do? We have done the basic thing, but we don't need to be pressed to the wall because we have options.
All right, let's move forward very quickly. You have talked about this, but even other parties are having issues. Is it an issue of democracy being a bit shaky at the moment, or is it an Anambra thing where factions in other parties as well? It was quite a weekend out there in the States. How do we move forward here in terms of our political maturity?
It's not about factions. It's not about an Anambra thing, but it's about individuals. In this case, we have a situation where from outside, people want to impose a leadership that is not popular on the people. Are you getting me? So, you see, it is more expensive to do something bad. It's more expensive to do something wrong. If you want to achieve result, come out in all honesty, in all sincerity of purpose. This is a party that Muhammadu Buhari is the leader. Don't forget that fact. This is a man we know is upright. This is a man who has credibility and character. This is a man you cannot tie with his integrity. He's the leader of this party. So what is wrong in following his footsteps? What is wrong in doing the right thing? Allowing the people to do the election, choose who they want to lead them. If you do things right, all these problems, I keep telling people that it's cheaper to do the right thing. In fact, it's more expensive to do the wrong thing. Because if you do the right thing, people come, do it, we all come out, congratulate the winner, and everybody moves on. All right? But when you do it wrong, like they have done now, that is why you have issues of challenges. And for 11 of us who came out initially to protest, these are the reality on the ground. We are not saying it's about us. It is about the Anambra people. It is about APC as a party. It's about those who believe in us. It's not necessarily about us. It may not be about me. It may not be about the other 10%. No. It is about those who look up to us. It is about our party. Because every election has two stages, primary and the main election. It's about going to meet the Anambra people on November 6th and presenting a candidate that has credibility of character. You're presenting a candidate that can win the confidence of the people. I keep saying it, and let me repeat and have this opportunity. The winning election in Anambra State will be done only by the consensus of the political elite across party lines. And for you to do that, you must get a candidate that can win the confidence of the elite across party lines. That's the only way you can produce a governor.
All right, we can continue to watch this space and look at exactly how things will pan out. But I can't let you go without looking at where you are currently having a CV of stewardship.
Yeah.
In terms of Nigeria's inland waterways, what are the inroads that we've made? But before then, just coming in now, we understand that the leader of the proscribed IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested through interagency collaboration. He's already in Nigeria. to complete his trial, for which he jumped bail in 2019. That's just reaching us. We take that again. We understand that Nnamdi Kanu has been rearrested by an inter-agency collaboration. He is already in Nigeria for his trial, which he jumped bail in 2019. That's just reaching us now. We'll give you the full meat of the matter in our subsequent bulletins. So do stay with the Nigerian Television Authority as we bring you breaking news and more news. Now, the strategic meeting between managers of information of the All Progressives Congress in the different tiers of government and the APC Governors Forum have called for better media and public engagement to elicit feedback and enhance relationship with the populace on the policies and program of government.
In a statement by the Director General of the APC Governors Forum, Salih Muhammad Lukman, the meeting resolved to sustain efforts to plan and implement media engagement strategies and programs that will be sustainable and resilient to the impact of media attacks, particularly by the opposition. Strengthening legislation, strategies, and action plans with consequences for media abuse and misinformation was highlighted. The meeting also called for concerted engagement with critical media stakeholders and practitioners to have strong and well-coordinated presence in the media space by ensuring appropriate synergy between federal and state ministries, agencies and departments, local governments, development partners, the civil society partners, and the private sector. They agreed to meet quarterly to review progress and also build solidarity among managers of information at all levels in APC-led government. Under the leadership of Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture, and Femi Adesina, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity.
All right, you're still watching Political Update, and we still have Judge Mohalu with us talking about the primary elections out there in Anambra State over the weekend. We've concluded that we're talking about your stewardship now. We've had some both mishaps, for instance, Kebbi and all that. What are the efforts to make sure that these are drastically reduced? Of course, we know our water is, diverse and wide and longer, but what are you doing to maintain some form of structure in terms of surveillance, in terms of having some form of control over the boats and skiffs that float on our waters?
Yes, to be honest with you, I feel very concerned about this, and we are doing all the best we can to ensure that it doesn't happen again. When I took over office as the MD of NIWA, we had these records of having challenges like this, and we looked at it critically. We developed new protocols, which we tried to get the people to follow. Protocols that has to do with wearing the approved vests before you can go to the waterways, and when eventually the issue of COVID-19 came, improving on it by adding the issue of wearing masks, making sure you sanitize and what have you. At the same time also, we set up the machinery to monitor the vessels, to be sure that the vessels, the ones that only operate are the accredited ones, those ones that are certified, that are in good stead, before we can allow them to go into the waterways. We also looked at the issue of training the operators of the vessels. We opened our training school in Warri. We also collaborated with a team that is also helping us in issue of training in Lagos. I remember the last time I came to NTA, I informed you that I was coordinating a training program of over 500 boat operators somewhere in Badagry. I even had to go by water to be able to meet up with the schedule.
By water from where?
From Lagos.
From Lagos.
Lagos. Yes, but we have this challenge that despite all the effort we are making in terms of educating our people, in terms of enlightening them, in terms of sensitizing them, but you still find people deliberately taking this gamble. But the sad thing here is that most times you see they don't want to operate from NIWA certified jetties. You find out that once in a while they go and operate from one obscure part that is not known to us. The only thing now we find the vessel on top of water. So in some instances, our NIWA police will go, get them, stop them, turn them back, impound the vessels. But the next day they will still do the same thing. Like the one that happened in Kebbi, very disheartening, because the vessel was over 200% overloaded. There's no way that vessel would have gone safe. One, we also banned operating of vessels at specific times. If you look at the statistics of the accidents we've had, it is either happening early in the morning or late in the evening. And what is responsible for this principally is the fact that they don't have navigational aids that can be used to operate at those times. So we impound vessels, we speak to them, don't operate. In fact, no newer jetty will allow any vessel to leave its point of takeoff once it is 6:15. I gave that as instruction, and it's been judiciously followed. So what they now do, instead of coming to take off from the newer jetty, they go, because it's a waterway.
Anything is a shore.
Yeah, correct. They just go there, park their boat, and people ignorantly will get into the vessels and they move. At times, they wear life jackets that have expired. But when you're taking off from the newer vessel, newer designated jetties, not necessarily ones we own, there are also private jetties that we have designated. We have our presence there. Our enforcement officers are there to make sure, one, you take the approved capacity. Two, that you wear the supposed and approved vests for you to be able to enter. In fact, we've even got to the extent of trying to procure vessels. Like I've given some vessels to some of our area offices. Quite recently, we received delivery of about 40 other vessels, which we intend to distribute to areas.
But that is minuscule. If you have to look at what we have in the country.
It's a continuous process, okay? So we're doing that. Again, a lot of investment is being made on clearing these waterways, removing debris, removing wreckages, removing water hyacinth and what have you, so that we can have free flow, we can have free channels for these vessels to operate. But we're doing everything.
How safe are our waterways before I let you go?
They are quite safe, but it's not the best. I will not be honest. I will not be bold enough to claim that our waterways are the safest in the world. That would be an unfair assessment. But the truth about it is that we are doing our best to ensure that it's a continuous thing. It's an everyday thing. Like, for example, you can't say, okay, I've cleared water hyacinth and I'm done with it. Because it's something that grows. Yes. You finish it this rainy season, by the next rainy season it comes. And that is why you find out, if you look at the budgets of National Inland Waterways, for example, in the past 10 years, it keeps recurring, clearing and removal of water hyacinth, clearing and removal of wrecks on the waterways. Because this is, for example, if a boat is abandoned by their owners and it stays quite some time on the waterway, it becomes a wreck. If you don't remove it this year, it remains there for next year. So
it becomes a hazard.
It becomes a hazard. So these are just, like, for example, this season, we are beginning, one of the things we advertise to do is to do rock blasting on Yauri. Because
that is where exactly we had the representative coming here and says where that happened, there are a lot of trees and rocks under the water. Yes. So it has now become shallow and they can hit the under.
That's one issue. At the same time also, we are putting navigational aids like buoys to be able to guide the vessels as they go. Because when we lay these buoys based on bathymetric surveys, then people can be able to know the actual points to pass through. But now, as I speak to you, we are undergoing procurement process for rock blasting to take place in Yauri.
All right, time is not our friend. We've had Judge Mowalu. He is, of course, the Managing Director, National Inland Waterways Authority, and APC governorship aspirant in the Anambra State governorship election. Play your policies for the greater good. He is, of course, the Managing Director of NIWA. And we also want that our political journey is navigated safe and sound, so that, of course, we enjoy the very best at the end of the day. Keep on watching the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. My name is Fisai Ogunfi. Thanking you for staying tuned. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye now.